So we're in the middle of this consulting thing with a Gene Key expert. And the point I bring that up is because all it's really done for me is A, confirm what I already know, the suspicions I already knew to be true about myself. And B, here's the key thing, gave me permission to be okay with that. And by having the permission, I now go through life like this to everybody who says anything but that. And that is the most liberating and freeing thing that I've experienced. And so for me, one small example, just to kind of make it matter, is he said, your highest value, the highest value you have in life is autonomy. And you'll notice in your life, the times you had the highest degrees of frustration is when you felt like you weren't in an autonomous setting, whether that's a partnership, a relationship, an employee agreement with a client who is trying to micromanage, whatever. And he goes, the time you shine the best was when you are fully autonomous. And so the path, he's like, Nick, is you can't build a business with a big team, or if you do, you can't manage that team. You need to hire a general manager who you don't talk to ever, because anytime you feel like you are being micromanaged or non-autonomous and non-free, you start to cram up and your creativity gets stifled, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, oh my God. And the problem was I went through my whole life going to masterminds and talking to people, and everyone's like, the key to growth and a great business and scaling up is building big teams and being a leader and blah, blah, blah. So in my mind, I'm like, oh God, I got to like build teams and I got to have people and I got to do this and I got to do that. I've got to do all these things I don't enjoy doing, but it's what you have to do. And then when I went through all this and my Gene Keys and all the rest of that stuff, it just confirmed what I already knew to be true. And as a result of knowing what I already knew to be true, I gave myself permission to say, okay, well, anything that falls outside of what I know to be true about myself, I don't even have to entertain. But it's giving based on knowing, and I guess whether you take the test or not is irrelevant. I don't think anybody has to go in there and take a bunch of tests. You probably everyone on you is probably taking some kind of a personality test anyways, right? The point is, when you take one, let it, inform you of what you probably already innately know is true. And then what you already innately know is true, then give yourself permission to be in that and that alone. And anything outside of that, don't pick out your eyeballs and pull out your hair to say, oh, I've got to be this because somebody told me that that's the way I've got to be. And that sense of liberty has not only allowed me to like breathe and be okay with things, but interestingly enough, it has also allowed me to feel great about what I do and not be frustrated all the time. And the only time I'm really frustrated is when I start compromising those realities and I start doing things that we're not supposed to do, or intuitively working with a client that we knew we shouldn't have taken on, but we did anyways. And that is being the source of the greatest frustrations. But if there's stuff that you already know to be true, I would just say lean into that and give yourself permission to be unapologetically that and nothing else.